Cosmic Shakti, baby!
To purchase t-shirts and merchandise with my art on it, just click on the eye on the top right-hand side of the screen and it will take you right to my shop.
Look at the size of those things. You know, you really got to stop skipping leg day. So thanks a lot to all of you that have given me such, great support on this channel and stuff, and I've had my fair share of haters and all that kind of stuff too, based on the type of training I do, right? Because there's a certain amount of discrimination that goes on in the fitness circles right now as far as the individuality of a human being, But the first thing I want to talk about, is that I have these t-shirts available, and I've talked about it before, you always see it at the beginning of my videos and stuff like that. But if any of you get a t-shirt and you want to send me in some video footage of you wearing the t-shirt while you're training or doing something crazy or weird or whatever it is, I'd love to include that type of footage on my videos just for something different, And if you just want to give me a picture or something like that, I'll have like the people of the week that are actually wearing the shirts and stuff and training and all that, because in the end, this channel is more about entertainment for myself as much as it is for you guys, So sometimes seeing people interacting different ways and just the interaction itself is really what this YouTube channel is about. It's more fun to kind of talk to people and find out about their training, what's worked for them, what hasn't worked, and why you do what you do, because each person has a special gift, like each person has discovered different things about their training. And of course, the things that you discover, the longer you're on this path, the longer you actually train, the more you'll realize, wow, what I discovered when I was 20 now is totally different for me now. It doesn't mean what I knew when I was 20 is different or wrong. It just means that, different rules apply at different stages of your training journey. So that's what this channel is about. It's about universal acceptance, It's like the UN of bodybuilding, I guess you could say. It's about, everybody has got something to contribute and has learned something about the different stages of the game in the human body and about what is necessary for you at that time, And, one thing I want to talk about is the discrimination in bodybuilding and fitness. And I don't know if that's really the right word, but the discrimination against the injured, okay? Because when I was training a long time ago, and, I'm still training now, but when I was training for competitions and things, I would see people, lift at 400 or 500 pounds, bench press, and, this kind of stuff. And it's almost like the people that didn't have injuries would somehow have a lower opinion of those that did. There was almost like this looking down on, like, oh, it's just because you've done something wrong when you're training, or somehow your stretch is wrong, or this or that. Not actually ever thinking about maybe the exercises that the person that is injured was trying to do weren't right for them. So it was more about saying, hey, you're not Wilt Chamberlain, you're not like 6'8" or whatever it is, whatever he was. And because you can't slam dunk a basketball, you're somehow a subhuman being. You're not as good as the rest of us. But the whole reason why I started this channel was to share with you what I learned. And what I learned was that you have an individual type of training that is right for you, that has nothing to freaking do with this stupid blueprint going around on the internet. This, as T-Bay said, people are sheeple. People like to follow just blindly. And I'm here to say, let's grow your awareness about what's right for you instead of actually you just following blindly what I'm saying. Although I'm sure some of the principles I have set before you are pretty good, Hey, why not? Because I put them over 30 years and conducted this experiment for a long time. But at the same time, I still have hit limitations with what I thought to be true 20 years ago, So it's about always evolving what you know and letting go of what you know in order to receive what is right for you in this moment. And one thing that was really frustrating for me is that, a long time ago, I was doing stuff and then I was winning bodybuilding shows, but there would always be some idiot in the gym that would come around and say, oh, well, you shouldn't do it that way because, that obviously doesn't work. And I'm like, well, obviously, as you see my first place trophy right here, it did work. It does work. Why are you telling me it doesn't? It's because they're part of the old guard, the old authority that says, this is the only way to do things. This is the only way to train. And one thing I love about you guys that are tuning into this channel is that you all are pretty open-minded. And I know that some of you are pretty accomplished too. You may have accomplished a lot more in your sport than I ever did. And at the same time, you're still open. And that's what I love about people that are successful. The people that are successful usually are more open than the people that are not, And the funny thing is I actually was inspired to make this hip-hop song because I'm kind of nuts. So I have a hip-hop music channel. So I made a hip-hop song about, I'm a champion. And that's what it says. And it basically speaks from a place of experience that says, you know, many of you are champions out there, many of you have done things, you've actually accomplished things, and then there's always some person that comes up and tries to criticize and says, oh yeah, whatever, you don't know anything. Meanwhile, you have accomplished and proven that you know what you're doing, you know? So anyway, I made this song for you guys. I made it for you accomplishers out there, you people out there that have done rather than just talked and criticized those that do. And yeah, tune into that song and check it out anyway. You might get a good laugh out of it. And you know, maybe you'll feel inspired to share it on your Facebook or something if somebody starts criticizing you based on what they haven't done and what you are doing, right? But yeah, so, you know, the whole point of this channel is a lot about letting go of that discrimination and saying, you know, just because you do an exercise different, or just because you train differently than this person over here, doesn't mean you are less than. You know, that doesn't mean you're less than a man or less than a woman or less than a human being because you're training, you're catering it to what is right for your body, right? That's just like saying, you know, a white person, Chinese person, and a black person respond the same to sunlight. We all respond differently. The skin responds differently. We look different based on this. It's just because of genetics and because of where we come from, but it has nothing to do with whether, you know, black or white or Chinese is better. You know, like there's, so this is what I'm saying. There's a certain type of racism really going on based on genetic limitation and genetic dimension and biomechanics. You know, and it isn't just separate based on race. I'm saying, like, even, you know, a person that has a standard, you know, certain ethnic background, there'll be deviations in that ethnicity. You know, some people are different heights, some people are different joint lengths, some people are different angles in the joints, and they train differently. And you can see it. People walk differently, people run differently, people speak differently, their mannerisms are different. There's a nervous system difference, there's an immune system difference, there's a lot of differences in the body. And people say, oh no, everybody's the same. You know, they have a heart, they have 2 kidneys, all this kind of stuff. No, there are certain things that are the same, but there are a lot of deviations, you know, and we all know this. Blood type is different, you know, so that's really what I love about you guys here is that you're embracing this thing that I'm saying. You're embracing this fact that, hey, there are different principles that may apply to me. Perhaps there's a standard foundation of principles that apply to everyone, but I'm here to say that I don't believe that standard foundation is as large as the main people would say. I don't believe it's this big that everybody must deadlift and squat a certain way, everybody must bench press this way in order to get results. I believe this foundation is much smaller than what has been perpetuated by the bodybuilding and fitness circles over the last 30 or 40 years. So kudos to you guys for really experimenting, finding out what is right for you, just conducting your experiments. So anything I offer in this channel is about an experiment, and try it out on your own. Really, you know, see if this feels right to you. And I'm thinking that a lot of the principles I say will apply to you because I've allowed an ambiguous sort of teaching in it. I've allowed it to be open to say, okay, try it in this way, and perhaps these are the ways you must tune the instrument. It's kind of like a guitar. You know, you could play different notes on the guitar. I'm just saying, here's the guitar. What notes you play is up to you, right? So make sure you let me know what kind of videos you want to see. You know, whether you like the talking videos more, instructional videos, or whether you like the workout vlogs, you know, because, I mean, I can look at the views and stuff and see based on what you want, but it helps me a lot more, and I can go a lot faster if you guys just give me some feedback and tell me what you want to see and what I can help you with. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you soon.
Do it your way.
I came to Ridge in 215 and sorted it all out.